คาถาตะกรุดเงินมหาลาภอดแร่เสริมพลังกายเหล็กไหลมหาเศรษฐีหลวงปู่สิมพลีถาวโร of Wat Tham Vua Dang, and actually many temples in Thailand, who he's a monk, a Tudong monk, 126 years old now in 2022, and has been on Tudong through forest traveling, sometimes disappears, sometimes appears at small temples, usually in the north. He's now in Leh province, and stays at different temples and creates amulets to help all the different temples there. And his famous Resam Palangai Takrut and powders, his powders, not his takrut, but he fills his takrut with them, and other amulets have become extremely famed over time and are now world famous and have a very high reputation for their ability to improve libido and health and attract wealth. And this particular takrut, which is filled with resa and palangai, libido increasing and health increasing and wealth increasing powders, and pong re lek lai seti, millionaire lek lai powders, as many people call them. It's called lek lai seti because it's known for attracting wealth as a property, a magical property. So this kata has 3 different kata which are focused on winning lottery or intuiting and divining lottery numbers. And so you have to meditate with these kata. 2 of them are for meditating with, to get nimitta visions of the lottery numbers, usually through seeing a glowing light in your inner eye, through focusing on the point between your eyebrows, on the inside of your skull, not on the outside of your forehead, until you can achieve one-pointed focus, forget yourself, and let the nimitta vision arise. And the prayer also, the kata, also says that when this doesn't work, that you beseech that it should appear in your dreams. And I would say usually when something appears, my intuition comes in the hypnagogic state, which is when you just leave the sleeping, dreaming state, but you're not fully conscious and awake yet. It's an in-between state. Many of you will have sometimes experienced an intuition in a dream, and where you want to write it down when you wake up or tell a friend, but it's too late by the time you get the chance. You can't remember, it's gone. So I would suggest that for these ritual incantations, you should not only just meditate in case you don't get the numbers in the vision, but you should also put a pen and paper pad by the side of your bed, so that if you do wake up with the numbers in your head, write them down straight away, because if you wait longer than, 10-15 seconds, it will be gone from the conscious mind back into the subconscious mind, back across the rainbow bridge. So the rainbow bridge is the hypnagogic state between sleeping and waking. And that's when you should get the intuition for a lottery number if you didn't get it during the vision in your meditation. So the first 2 kata you must meditate with. The last kata is a very short heart kata, huajai, heart mantra, or kata huajai, abbreviated incantation, which you should chant in the sense of when you count sheep to go to sleep, you should chant this kata silently in your heart or out loud, and then silently until you drop off to sleep. The first 2 prayers, of course, you have to begin with Namo Tassa, the Mahanamatsakara, and you should think of Luang Simpalee, who is 126 years old and is perhaps the last living master that I know of, apart from my grandfather-in-law Luang Pun of Wat Bansang in Roy who ordained with the great Luang Pu Man of the Thai forest tradition, Tudong tradition, which took Thai Buddhism back to the practice of the times of the Buddha with no frills and very frugal and very close to how it used to be in old times. Yeah, so think back to Luang Pu Man, and that Luang Pu Man is a representative of passing the original teachings and the practice as in the times of the Buddha and the teachings of the Buddha, so that this lineage traces all the way back to the Buddha himself. Yeah, and Luang Pu Simpalee is of that lineage. So you should think of Luang Pu Simpalee and all the Kruba Ajahn of the Tudong lineage to Luang Pu Man, and even further back through even the names we don't know, Luang Pu Man's Kruba Ajahn and their Kruba Ajahn and their Kruba Ajahn, until we reach the Buddha. And think of that when you meditate and pray. Yeah. So here is the first kata, which is begins, of course, with the Maha Namaskara of chanting Namo Tassa and bowing each of the 3 times you recite it to give reverence to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, to the Buddha actually. So you begin with Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. And then you continue with the kata, which goes like this. Po awa nitta la ma'a'u si wang pramma jitang ma ni ma พระแม่ธรณีอยู่แล้วหรือยังสังขาตังโลกังกวิทูพยานบุญสังขาตังโลกังกวิทูขอเชื่อมโยงพระแม่ธรณีผู้ดูแลธนาคารบุญขอเบิกจากธนาคารบุญเองของข้าพเจ้าขอเบิกบุญไม่ว่าจะจำได้จำไม่ได้ขอเบิกทุกภพทุกชาติไม่ว่าจะชาติไหนหรือปัจจุบันชาตินี้ขอให้มาเปลี่ยนแปลงชีวิตของข้าพเจ้าให้สำเร็จในสิ่งที่ปรารถนาทุกประการเทินไม่ว่าจะปรารถนาเรื่องอะไรขอให้สำเร็จทุกเรื่องพุทธังสำเร็จธัมมังสำเร็จสังฆังสำเร็จหิริโอตปะสัมปันนาสุขธรรมสมาหิตาสันโตสัพปุริสะโรเกเทวธรรมติวุติจเรมะเปิดกรุอุเปิดตังอะเปิดประตูหน้าต่างเปิดรับโชคเปิดรับทรัพย์เปิดรับสมบัติอัทธรังมะอะอุอะกังกังยะระระโชคมาเงินมีโชคมีเงินมานะชาลิติอุเยอะเยปะชะตะนะโมพุทธายะกูจะมองนามพัทธะกูจะส่องจะพักษะกูจะจ้องนะมาอุกูจะดูให้กูเห็นหวยด้วยนะโมพุทธายะนะมพัทธะอิติอรหังอุทธบาทิยานังพุทธนิมิตังอุปันนังโหติ This should be chanted in the morning or before you go to work or to do business or to try and make a sale with a person. You know, sometimes if you're a sales agent or something, so it might not always be in the morning. And to bring luck and luck without end. So you should do that after meditation. This second one is now to do I say? Uh, you say in the evening, or you say when you finish work, you say every day. And I would say after showering, because you will take the takrut off when you're showering. You should wear the takrut every time you chant the kata. So the second kata is to ask also to see lottery numbers. So the first time after you do the first kata, you should sit in meditation and meditate to try to see the lottery numbers, or in your dreams later at night. And this second one is after you finish your day, before sleeping, before going to bed, but I mean, you might be still going to have dinner, watch TV or whatever, but you should meditate after you have made this kata. So maybe after a shower, you've taken up the takrut, after you've had your dinner and done stuff, before you go to sleep, you put the takrut back on, because you would wear it to sleep with. And so before you do meditation, you wear the takrut, put it on. And then, of course, once again, chant the Namo Tassa before you do the kata, which is Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. And continue with the kata. Hiri o Tapa ขอให้ข้าพเจ้าเห็นเป็นตัวเลขหรือนิมิตมาบังเกิดให้ปรากฏในจักขุทวารมโนทวารถ้าหากไม่มีมาปรากฏให้เห็นขอให้ฝันเห็นขอให้นิมิตจงเป็นไปตามความปรารถนาด้วยเทินสัพพะสุขังจะมหาลาภังพระวันตุเมสัพพะโกรธังวินาศสันติสังโฆนะเมตตาโมกรุณาพุทธปราณีทายินดียะเอ็นดูนะโมพุทธายะมะอะอุเมตตาจะมหาราชบุตรีราชบุตราสมนา and then Nang sit in meditation and focus between your eyebrows to feel the force behind your skull between your eyebrows in the middle eye, third eye, and keep meditating, of course using the breath of Buddha, breathing in with put and breathing out with to, until you silence your mind and the vision arises like this. Put to put to put to put to. And keep breathing in and out and in and out and in and out until the vision arises. If it doesn't arise, don't worry, because you prayed for it to appear in dreams. If it doesn't arise, it's because you need to advance your practice. First time you get on a bike, you don't know how to ride it. First time you get on a skateboard, you fall off. First time you try to meditate, and in fact, the first 50 to 100 times you try, you might not see the vision. Doesn't mean you're never going to see it, because you're developing every time you try. So don't give up heart. Wait for it in your dreams if it doesn't come, but keep practicing, because if you do, at some point, some people do it in a day, some people take a year, but it will come. It will come. Like they say, awaken in the morning, know it in the morning. Awaken in the evening, you know it in the evening. Which means it doesn't matter when you wake up. What matters is that you wake up. Yeah, you can wake up in the morning or the evening, but what matters is that you wake up. So it's no rush, because we're all going to wake up in the end anyway. So the third kata is very short, and you should wear this to bed, the takrut. You take it off for showering and eating and stuff, and then you put it back on to meditate and go out in your daily life. Take it off when you have your shower and come home from work, and then put it back on before you go to bed and chant the kata. Yeah. So the kata to give and chant constantly, like counting sheep till you go to sleep, is this one. Yeah. And of course you do the Namo Tassa first, unless you're not a Buddhist, in which case you just do the magical incantation. But I do it with Namo Tassa before going to bed anyway, so I'll chant it with Namo Tassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Yeah, and then continue with Putto Pra Arahang Putta Nimitang Iti 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 Iti. Once again, Putto Pra Arahang Putta Nimitang Iti 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 Iti. And when you start dropping off, you can just slip into iti 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 iti, which means basically so be it. So I'll give you one more time now, all three going through. I'm using a new microphone and I've got headphones in. That sounds really strange. I'm still learning how to use it. If you want to know what it is, it's a Maonocaster Lite with a Maono microphone, which is nowhere near as good as another one I use, but anyway, just trying things out to see if I can increase the entertainment factor of my content. I'm not doing very well with this one. Anyway, all three kata. Don't forget, you need to meditate after the first one before you go out to work. You meditate after the second one after you come back in the evening or whenever your work day goes, however it goes, and the last one to fall asleep with. Okay, so here we go. When you hear me say Kapa Jau, that means me. This kata says, the instructions say you can say your own name and surname, or you say just me, which means Kapa Jau. In this case, you use the word Kapa Jau. So here we go with the first one. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Po awa nittu la ma'u siwang pramma jitang namami ma. พระแม่ธรณีอยู่แล้วหรือยังสังขาตังโลกังกวิทูพยานบนสังขาตังโลกังกวิทูขอเชื่อมโยงพระแม่ธรณีผู้ดูแลธนาคารบุญขอเบิกจากธนาคารบุญของข้าพเจ้าขอเบิกบุญไม่ว่าจะจำได้จำไม่ได้ขอเบิกทุกภพทุกชาติไม่ว่าจะชาติไหนหรือปัจจุบันชาตินี้ขอให้มาเปลี่ยนแปลงชีวิตของข้าพเจ้าให้สำเร็จในสิ่งที่ปรารถนาทุกประการเทินไม่ว่าจะปรารถนาเรื่องอะไรขอให้สำเร็จทุกเรื่องพุทธังสำเร็จธัมมังสำเร็จสังฆังสำเร็จหิริโอตปะสัมปันนาสุขธรรมสมาหิตาสันโตสัพปุริสาโรเคเทวธรรมติวุติจเรมะเปิดกรุอุเปิดตังอะเปิดประตูหน้าต่างเปิดรับโชคเปิดรับทรัพย์ เปิดรับสมบัติอัทวรังมะอะอุอกังกังยะระระโชคมาเงินมีโชคมีเงินมานะชาลิติอุเยอเยบัชตะนะโมพุทธายะกูจะมองนะมะพัทธะกูจะส่องจะปักษะกูจะจ้องนะมะอะอุกูจะดูให้กูเห็นหวยด้วยนะโมพุทธายะนะมะพัทธะอิติอรหังอุทบาทิยานังพุทธนิมิตังอุปันนังโหติ And second one would be, of course, นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะหิริโอตปะขอให้ข้าพเจ้าเห็นเป็นตัวเลขหรือนิมิตมาบังเกิดให้ปรากฏในจักขุทวารถ้าหากไม่มาปรากฏให้เห็นก็ขอให้ฝันเห็นขอให้นิมิตจงเป็นไปตามขอให้ข้าพเจ้าเห็นเป็นตัวเลขหรือนิมิตมาบังเกิดให้ปรากฏในจักขุทวารมโนทวารถ้าหากไม่มาปรากฏให้เห็นก็ขอให้ฝันเห็นขอให้นิมิตจงเป็นไปตามความปรารถนาด้วยเทินสัพพสุขังจะมหาลาภังภวันตุเมสัพพโกรทังวินาศสันติสังโฆนะเมตาโมกรุณาพุทธปราณีทายินดียะเอ็นดูนะโมพุทธายะมะอาอุเมตาจะมหาราชบุตรีราชบุตาสมนา then you meditateพุทโธพุทโธพุทโธพุทโธพุทโธพุทโธ until you see the nimitta of the lottery and then you can write it down or if not you use the last one only and do putto before and just do putto พระอรหังพุทธนิมิตังอิติอิติอิติอิติอิติอิติอิติ like counting sheep and when the putto พระอรหังพุทธนิมิตังอิติอิติอิติ becomes too much because you're starting to fall asleep you can just slip into iti 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 and fall asleep with that and so that's how you do the 3 kata to invoke lottery wins from the Takotnan Mahalab of Luang Simpalee filled with rare palangai, libido and wealth and health increasing powders and the rare Liglai millionaire Liglai powders. It's the name of the powders, but the quality is that it attracts wealth if you accumulate merits, not if you do evil. The devas never look kindly on people who are selfish, right? So you need to make merits to make this work. For example, if you practice generosity and philanthropy, the devas will be much, much, much more prone to smiling upon you that you win a lottery because they know some of the money is going to go to your charitable deeds. Yeah, and they get merit from that as well to become a Buddha one day because angels are not Buddhas. That's why they can help us, but Buddhas cannot. We cannot call upon the Buddhas. We can only call upon the angels and the devas because because they are still active in the world of cause and effect, but the Buddhas are not, so they will not respond. They cannot respond. So there you go. Kata Takut Mahalab for lottery divination from Luang Simpalee, yeah, Tudong Master, ordained 126 years old, ordained probably 106 years ago or something, I don't know, by Luang Pu Man. Ajahn Spencer for the Buddha Magic Project, and in this case, because this Takut's in one of my shops, for ThailandAmulet.net. Hoping this helps. Signing off.